Cheers. We're drinking some hot toddies today for our season.
There's a cinnamon stick in this thing.
This is really good.
So strong.
It's good.
Joe.
Oh, it's fine.
All right, I might want more honey in mine.
It's fine.
It's the Olivia and Joe
Cheese Show! We got a very special guest on the show, hilarious comedian Santi Espinosa, who does comedy in Spanish and English.
And
French.
Yeah.
What?
You do comedy in 3 languages. That's...
They can't all 3 be good, though. So it's Christmas time in Cheese Show land. And the reason we chose him for our Christmas episode, because his name is 1 letter away from Santa.
No one's ever told me that joke. Fun story though, my whole name is, as you know, my people, Latinos, we have like 7 names. First name is Ruben.
Your first name is Ruben?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
My first name is Pastrami Sandwich.
See, that's why we're good friends. So Ruben Santiago Espinosa Meza Heckerman Gomez. I got like 7 names.
Say it all.
Ruben Santiago Espinosa Meza Heckerman Gomez.
So you're Canadian, by the way.
Yeah.
Colombian.
Colombian, Canadian, and I will be American next year, probably.
Oh, wow. So I got a question.
Yes.
We're dressed like for Christmas.
I'm wearing the ugliest dress alive.
Why aren't you wearing like your ugly sweater and...
Do they wear ugly Christmas sweaters in Colombia?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not?
Yeah.
What do they wear?
Which is, if you're a woman, you show as much cleavage as you can. Like, boobs are big in Colombia.
On Jesus's birthday?
Jesus likes the cleavage. The more cleavage you wear, it means prosperity and it means better things.
So on Christmas Eve, like your family is just like your aunts got like their breasts out?
Yeah. See, Olivia's taking the hint.
Is it like
all right.
I'm trying to...
it's all about
I'm trying to celebrate Colombian Christmas.
This is very Colombian. Yeah, brings me back. Christmas is a big party in Colombia, so they have a big gathering of all the families and everything, and that's where actually I had my first kiss. I kissed a cousin.
What?
First cousin?
It's okay. It was a 2nd-degree cousin. Okay. It doesn't count. Latinos are very sexual. There's a lot of things that you're like, oh, that's normal.
Yeah.
When you move to North America, that you're like, oh yeah, that was totally unacceptable. Why did I kiss my tea with tongue? Like, that's so weird. I was only 8.
The way my uncle groped my sister was strange.
Why did those things happen? It's just Christmas.
Why did my grandma mama bird that food in a...
Well, listen, let's start eating some cheese. Gouda Vintage Lot 18.
That sounds like a storage facility.
Oh, that looks so good.
Smell that, smell that.
Ooh. Oh. Ugh, smells like a crayon.
This is a Gouda from the Netherlands, which is like the land of the Goudas, and it's been aged for 18 months.
So, Santi, a little birdie told me that you're lactose intolerant.
Yes, affirmative.
I have some really big news for you and everyone else who is lactose intolerant.
Okay.
If a cheese has been aged longer than 3 months, there are trace amounts of lactose left in that cheese.
What?
During the aging process, the lactose in the milk gets converted into lactic acid. Do you see all these little like white spots on the cheese?
Yeah.
They're lactic acid buildup.
Oh, wow.
So it's a really good way to visually identify a super aged cheese.
Oh, wow.
And you should be able to eat it without much problem at all.
That's amazing.
If I was you and I was lactose intolerant, what I would do is I would start with like a Parmesan, something really, really hard and firm, lots of those little white crystals on it, and then just start working younger and younger until you can see where your tolerance lies.
Like Leonardo DiCaprio, just keep going younger and younger.
Till you see what you like.
Want to eat this cheese?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. I've got a little fig jam for us.
Ooh.
And I'm just giving us little chunkies.
That's
to
enough
pick up.
cheese.
No, it's not. I'm gonna eat this whole thing. You're so dumb to think that we're not gonna eat it all.
You guys have a cheese problem and I like it. My mouth is watering.
Oh my God, with the fig jam. This is gonna be so Cheers.
Cheers, everybody.
Wow. Wow.
Yo, this is good.
Oh,
That is a really good pairing too.
it's like the best piece of toast I've ever had.
Well done.
That's
This
really
is
good.
fascinating because now I can have as much cheese as I want.
All right, Santi, what is the cheesiest joke you've ever told on stage? Oh, I'm burping.
I've always been a big Lord of the Rings fan, so I said that having a one night stand was kind of like Mr. Frodo and Sam taking the ring to
Mordor?
to destroy the ring.
How so?
Because my was like Frodo. It wasn't huge, but it was determined to get the job done. And Sam was me, like, come on, Mr. Frodo, don't let me down.
Santi, never tell anyone that joke ever again.
I feel like there's something there.
You think so?
There's nothing there.
Wait, and also, how sad for the girl that you're trying to sleep with that she's Sauron in this analogy?
I mean, Sauron does look like a big floating vagina in the sky.
Plus, not to mention, I have Sauron. It's really hard to find. A lot of different people have tried and have not been able to get there.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think this analogy's working for me.
And then you got Gandalf block and you go, you shall not pass. And then Legolas is there for you to like question your own heterosexuality. You're like, this guy's kind of cute.
Even though the joke is horrible, that turned out to be a good,
Yeah, you workshopped it.
yeah.
Santi's workshop. Oh, that's enough cheese for
No,
now.
it's not. What is the cheesiest thing that ever made you cry?
Have you guys watched the movie I Am Sam? I cried insane in front. So it was like one of my closest friends. And
guy?
the girl that I had a crush on. Oh. And I'm crying and I don't know how to stop it. Like I was just like, and then everybody was like, are you okay?
It sounds to me like you probably had some other going on, and that sort of just like opened up the floodgate.
I was like, I gotta go to the bathroom. I went to the bathroom. When I get back from the bathroom, I'm pretty sure my best friend and her made out. I mean, there's a conspiracy theory. I don't think they actually had the time to make out.
It probably happened.
So sorry.
I need to confess this. You know, I cried listening to the Justin Bieber video.
Like, is there a documentary or something?
No, it's just a music video where he's like, he gets picked up on the highway, he's a hitchhiker. And I was like, what? I know this is not real. It's Justin Bieber. Like, he's just getting picked up by an actor.
It's because he's Canadian, right?
Screw I Am Sam. That's your new cheesiest thing you cried at. A
Yeah.
Justin Bieber music video.
What is the cheesiest thing you've ever said and then immediately regretted?
I was obsessed with the show, How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah.
And my favorite character was Barney Stinson,
Who's that?
Neil Patrick Harris.
Oh, okay.
I was going to the same gym.
He was just like at your gym.
Yeah, I'm literally watching How I Met Your Mother, like just running. And then I turn my head and then I just see Barney Stinson next to me. And then I'm thinking like, what's his real name?
You didn't call him Doogie, did you?
Bro, it gets so much worse than that. The first thing that popped in my head was Paul Neal. So I was like, hey, Paul Neal. And he like stopped and looked at me. And I'm like, I'm a big fan of you. And he was like, oh, thanks, man. Thank you. And I'm like, oh, man, I didn't watch this show, but my sister was a big fan of this show where you play like a little doctor. Like, what was the name?
Yeah.
And he kind of just keeps looking at me like, Doogie Howser? I'm like, yeah, that's the show. We shook hands. And I remember just going home and I'm like, to my sister, like, hey, man, you're not gonna, I met Paul Neal. And my sister was like, who the is Paul Neal? And I'm like, you know Barney Stinson from How I Met Your Mother?
Yeah.
And she was like, you mean Neil Patrick Harris?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, no. I called him Paul Neal the entire time. And
Were
she
you
was
like saying his first name? Were you like saying Paul to him? Were
yeah,
you, like...
I said, yeah, Paul, you know how it is.
People probably call him Joseph Gordon-Levitt all the time. And listen, if you're gonna be a celebrity with 3 names, expect people to get it wrong, okay?
So, and then at the end of this whole thing, when she's talking to me, and I'm kind of saying like, it's weird that he was so nice to me the whole time. Like, we spoke for like 15 minutes. And she was like, well, maybe it's because he's gay and he liked you. And I'm like, he's what?
You didn't know he's gay?
No!
He started on Broadway. He's
Yeah.
like a Broadway star.
But at the time, I don't think he had come out.
No, he was 1,000% out, Sandy.
This is a story of how I met Paul Neal and how I'm
How I
the
met
one.
Paul Neal. All right, next question. What is the cheesiest thing you've ever held a grudge about?
When I started comedy in Montreal, there was this guy who was like older than me doing stand-up. He walked into the comedy club, I was there, and I was like, hey Pete, how are you? And he looked at me, he was like, it's not Pete, it's Peter. And I was like, oh, you're such a...
You're like, Neil Patrick Harris was really nice when I messed up his name.
What's crazy is this is 2 stories about you messing up people's names, and you have the most insane name out of anyone I've ever heard. You have like 6 first names, and hopefully you don't expect people to memorize that. What's the cheesiest self-help thing that you've ever taken part in?
Oh, reading The Power of Now.
The power of now.
Repeatedly.
More than once? You read a self-help book more than once?
3 times. When you get very anxious about not getting further in your career, not evolving, you're always like, oh, but why am I not moving ahead? Enjoy the journey. Enjoy the cheese.
Yeah.
Like, what if you had 1 million subscribers? Like, if you're not grounded
I
right now...
would love it. I think 1 million subscribers is great, but it should take you a while to get there, and you should like...
That's my point. Like, you will want to get there, but you hope to be grounded and mentally stable when you get to that.
ready for it.
Well, why do
Yeah,
you think
ready for it.
every child star has lost their mind?
Yeah.
They were just given way too much fame and money
Yeah.
too soon.
Imagine having that much money and pressure. Not to bring it
Yeah.
back to Justin Bieber, but
Is this why his
It all
music
goes
video
back to
made you
Bieber.
cry?
You Canadian.
he was just a kid.
You want to do a song?
Let's sing our song now.
Let's do a holiday song.
Eating a little lactose in your cheese today, and your bowels are surely gonna pain. This is what they'll tell you, but it's all a lie. You can still eat cheese, hooray! Because when cheese is aged enough, the lactose is gone. You don't have to excuse yourself and use the jar. You're not eating lactose in your cheese today. It's a safe dairy product for you.
Cindy! What do you rate this cheese?
I gotta say, this is a 4.8.
Whoa!
Is that high?
That's,
That's
0.2
0.2
away
below
from a perfect score. Well, Olivia, do you want to figure out how cheesy Santi is? The final curve. So you have the Lord of the Rings joke?
That is like as cheesy as it gets.
Yeah.
And you're out here telling us to read The Power of Now. And I'm sorry, but that is
Santi.
still top of the charts.
Oh, Neil Patrick Harris? I think it's cheesier that you didn't know he was gay.
Yeah, for real.
Then you have the I Am Sam crying. I mean, come on. Santi is an emotional guy. That's what we've realized. So I think what Santi is a feta in brine, but the brine is tears.
So wonderful.
Wow!
We ate all the cheese. Oh my God. Olivia, you're right.
Attention cheese lovers, you can get this cheese delivered straight to your door. Murray's Cheese is offering our fans 15% off. Just click the link in our description and enter promo code CHEESESHOW at checkout.